Well, we're getting involved in the 7-1-3 life right here in H-Town. A sweep in Arizona. That's right, baby. The Astros sweep them with the AAA squad. We're going to talk about that and why it's important that the Astros have the best record in the AL right now.
Jainel Diaz, this is Locked On Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. He is Brett Chancey, and we are the Locked On Astros podcast. Thank you for making the Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Whether it's on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to us. Go and make us your first listen. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts, go and check us out. Today's episode is brought to you by the word bunt, B-U-N-T, and Christian Walker, W-A-L-K. These two guys are a big reason why, well, not guys, but these two a situation and a guy are a big reason why the Astros swept the Diamondbacks and now have first place in the American League at least for a couple hours until the Yankees and the Blue Jays game is over.
True.
Also, what's going to happen with Brandon Walter? Is he going to continue pitching like Cy Young out there? So much for us to talk about, Brett. Let's go and get started. If I would have told you back in April when they're playing tennis back and forth, Brett,
right,
that they would have the best record in American League, if at least for 2 hours, what would you have said?
I would have said, I don't know how that's going to be possible with the numerous injuries that they have that they're dealing with. And then, oh my gosh, the Sunday morning the Monday morning quarterbacks came out in droves. Joe Espada must hate sweeping. Joe Espada must not know baseball. Oh my God, this lineup's horrible with Trammell, Caratini, Walker, Diaz, Matthews, Dubon, Hummel, McCormick, and Whitcomb. I mean, what was he thinking? Did he expect the Astros to win with this lineup? Yeah. You know why? Because things are different in Houston. Christian Walker was asked the other day, what is different about this club? And he just said, we expect to win. It's a different guy every day. And Eric, this was a game where they scored. They got to that fourth run, that magic number. They're now 40-11, but they are 20-31 with 3 runs scored or fewer. And in 1-run games, now they're 20-9. So when the game is on the line, when the pitchers are dealing, the hitters have gotten to the bullpens effectively, Eric. And that's what this team did. You got to roll with the boys that are on the lineup card. You can't lick your wounds. You can't be like, oh, but he has a rest day. And no, Joe Espada, the clubhouse culture has been fortified by someone like Jose Altuve. And even with Pena on the bench, even with Myers out, this team continues to battle. And they swept the Diamondbacks. They didn't look great in Seattle, but they came back and now they're winners of 4 straight, Eric. I mean, this is a team that really deserves every bit of flowers that comes their way. We're not giving them the World Series right now, but it sure gives you comfort knowing that you will eventually be getting some of the star talent back.
And I know that it wasn't all this, but how about the cockiness of Joe Espada at this point? You mentioned it was a AAA lineup. The reason why is a AAA lineup was because Jose Altuve and then Cam Smith were not in the initial lineup. Cam Smith came in a little bit later on to play a defense as a defensive replacement. Right. But it wasn't because anything was wrong. A lot of people were worried about Jose Altuve's hand because of that slide at home plate the other day. But it wasn't anything like that. It's the Astros are in the middle of 13 games and 13 days. So this was a good time to rest them. This was a day game after a late night game. So this was a perfect time to not only rest your aging superstar, but also your young guy in Cam Smith that has not gotten a lot of days off since he's kind of taken off. So this was a perfect opportunity. And the lineup, dude, we'll talk about Christian Walker a little bit deeper in the second segment. But this lineup, you have Taylor Trammell, who led off. If you would have told me beginning of the year that any game, this guy would be leading off. I would have been shocked. Victor Caratini hitting second, Christian Walker hitting third. I could have seen that to start the season. Yainer Diaz hitting cleanup, but then batting fifth, Bryce Matthews. If you would have told me, this is no slight against anything that Bryce Matthews has done in the past 5 games, but the fact that he's batting fifth right now, and then Mauricio Dubon, and then Chas McCormick, Shea Wickham, and then Zacharias Short. I got to put emphasis on his name again. He had the big bunt to kind of lead up to Tramel's big bunt. And that led up to Christian Walker's big hit that we'll talk about in a little bit. But this was a AAA lineup. But Brett, they did it. They did it again.
They did it. But you know, I do have to take issue with this. The rule on the scoring. Okay, I understand why Bennett Sousa got the win. Right, he got a blown save and a win, which is weird. In this game. Walter, 7 innings pitched, 5 Ks, 1 earned run, 4 hits. And Trevor's right in the comments. Walter should absolutely get the W in this. Walter should, I mean, he shoved. Can we change this rule? Because this rule is a little insane. I don't like how a guy can go out there for a third of an inning or 2/3 of an inning and get a W to his record when, he contributed, maybe give him a hold. Maybe create a different category. Game salvage, not a save. I don't know, a GS. But the W should be, Brennan Walters. Now, Walter's not going to go in the clubhouse complaining about that. All he cares about is he contributed to a win. And I do know that the D-backs did come back. They scored the 2 runs in the 8th. I understand the scoring. Like I'm not saying this like I don't know ball or I don't understand the scoring. But, man, it sure would be nice for these guys if they go 7 innings. If you go 7 innings, you leave with the victory, and your team ends up going behind and coming back and winning, you still get a W. That would be nice. But then again, if you change it, does that mean you have to go back and change everybody else's records? And that's a whole lot of changing. So we know that's not going to happen, but in a perfect world, I would like to see that.
Brett's also putting in a petition for the Astros only to get 4 outs in an inning, not 3 outs in an inning. But that's basically what you're asking is that is a something that's been going back, and it's hard to change that rule.
Right.
I understand the situation. In spring training, you might have something that a little bit different situation where a guy didn't pitch. He only pitched like 3 innings and he didn't pitch the 5, but he may still get the win. But that's spring training. When you're talking about all the money that goes into the to rewarding people for getting wins, I don't think that you're going to see a rule like that. But I hear what you're saying. But
go ahead.
Just what the Astros were able to do in this whole series. I mean, in the middle game, you had the late inning comeback as well, and it just. I know the first game was a little bit more of a laugher, but the Astros overall, they're not saying we don't care how many people are out. We don't care that there are 17 guys on the IL. It's the next man up mentality. And it seems to it's just infectious. And you hear about, we don't know if Alvarez, if he's going to be the same guy, if he's going to be comfortable for the rest of the year, but it doesn't matter. These guys are going out there and pretending to be Yordan Alvarez. They're going out there and pretending to be Jeremy Pena.
Remember when Yordan Alvarez was in that slump and he bunted out of the slump?
Right.
But yeah, and maybe look, quality start. How's that? Okay. I'll take that. Quality starts matter more. I agree with that. I'm just saying it would be nice for him to get the dub. I was just agreeing with our guy, Trev. A lot of y'all have great takes on here on the show, but Eric, the Detroit Tigers have just been, I don't want to say free fall, but have the Detroit Tigers peaked? I mean, can they sustain this? And with the Astros, we can say, can they sustain this? I think they've done this still sometimes on jet fumes. I don't think they haven't done this full strength. So we can't say, oh, well, I don't know if this can keep up. It absolutely will keep up. Why? Because the injured players the guys that are injured are going to come in and help out. I mean, look, Chas McCormick made an amazing grab in center field.
Right.
Contributing defensively. Chas McCormick has had one of the worst years of his career because he's been oft injured and hasn't been able to contribute. And he comes in, what does he do? He contributes.
Yeah, so there's a lot that's going on. And when we get back, we're going to talk a little bit more about Christian Walker, his homecoming, and what he's done. And what are the Astros doing with in one-run games this year? You keep on talking about getting to the 4-run mark, but what are they doing in a 4-run game? One-run differences. So we'll go and talk about this on the Locked On Astros podcast.
So today's episode is brought to you by Game Day Hue. And so is the glove that I'm wearing right here. Check out this glove. Use the code MLB15 for 15% off at Game Day Hue. You can sport your team colors, whether it's a glove or whether it's a hat. And Eric's going to show you what that looks like. Oh, Eric left. Never mind. Game Day Hue makes clean, no logo gear with team-inspired colorways for every pro and every college fan base. It's all about letting your colors speak for you. No giant logos, just start versatile style that works on game day. Eric, show us that hat. There you go. Eric's got the hat. This is from Game Day Hue. If you don't want to rock the logos, you can rock the colors for your team. That's right. Right now, you get 15% off with code MLB15 at GameDayHue.com. That's GameDayHue.com. The code even stacks on bundle deals, so now's the time to load up. Let your color talk because colors speak louder than words. That's GameDayHue.com, code MLB15.
Hey guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Whether it's on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to us. Go ahead and make us your first listen. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast, go and check us out. So the Astros so far this year, I know the bullpen has been a big reason for this, but the Astros overall, they have obviously are 60 and 42 on the season, but they are in one-run games. They are 20-9. So that shows that they have a good bullpen and that they're limiting the offense to less runs than they're allowing. But what they're also doing is, like they did today, is they're playing like early style baseball with a bunt, and they're not relying on the big home run ball. And so what Josh Hader, I know he's been showing some signs of not the same dominant guy that he was before, but he is still, the bullpen overall is still one of the best in baseball. And it shows why the Astros, by the way, the Mariners lost today. And so now the Astros have a 6-game lead over the Mariners. And just overall,
I said, love to hear it.
Oh, right. So it's just amazing when you put this, no offense to anybody, when you put this AAA lineup, the Space Cowboy lineup out there, and they get this win and they sweep the Diamondbacks. I just can't say enough about what this team is doing.
Yeah, Eric, it's been, I don't want to use the word magical because I think the word magical is probably overused in sports, like, magical moments, things like that. But it really is one of these things when you look at it on paper, it doesn't make sense unless you know the context of the source of the winning. And that is the clubhouse culture that has been built by the Houston Astros. And you and I, since we've been on this mic together on Locked On Astros, we've seen this happen. We've seen the highs and the lows, even in the golden years. And no matter who the personalities are, no matter who the role players are, who the stars are, somebody steps up. And even when guys in the past that were here were injured, what did they do when Kyle Tucker was out? They play well. Look, what are they doing this year without Jordan? They're the best.
They played better last year without Kyle Tucker, right?
Right. I'm just saying, and that is important. Now, of course, speaking baseball wise, you want your guys back in the moments in the playoffs because you want to depend on guys like that to have a more sure-handed path to victory. But if the Astros can keep pace and stay up top and get home field advantage for the AL, I think that opens up a boatload of possibilities because they are so good. I mean, Eric, this team is not just great away, but they're great at home. They are 33-19 at home. They are on the road. They are now 20. I think they're 27 and 23 on the road. This team continues to do things that you would think that they wouldn't be able to do. So away they are 27 and 23, at home 33 and 19, and teams over 500, they're 34 and 29. And again, against first place teams, they have a very good record. They've only lost 2 or 3 games against first place teams. So when I hear people push back, and I want you to talk about this, when I hear people push back on the Astros saying, oh, well, they don't have it, they won't win, well, what have they done all season? Like, you can't just say the regular season doesn't matter at all. Don't you? You know what I'm saying? Right. I think they've got it, dude.
And I agree with you. I think the Astros have it. They have this, I don't want to say it's the mighty duck run, but it just seems like they have this, like you said, it shouldn't be, we shouldn't be using the magic, but it's just, they have this ability, whether it's the clubhouse, whether it's the culture, whether it's Jose Altuve. He's the quiet leader. He's the guy that goes out there and just says, hey, let's go out there and get this, and let's go and dance to the Backstreet Boys afterwards, something like that. But guys, we've got to do something. And I know we haven't really done this effectively on the podcast. Let's pretend like this is a pile of, what, and we've been throwing this, what, at Christian Walker all year. So we need to go ahead and stop throwing.
Well, I went and corrected myself last show I did, and I don't know if it was with you or when I did it solo, but Christian Walker's trajectory has gone nothing but up in the month of July. So because Eric, I put out a short where I think I probably overstated Christian Walker needed to be consistent. I had a lot of people saying, oh, you apparently haven't watched baseball in July, but Eric, his numbers look good right now.
Yeah, he's batting .348 with a .380 on base percentage, .515 slugging, and .895 OPS. If we can get that for the rest of the season from Christian Walker, I'll take it. 3 home runs, 12 RBIs. He's got 9 walks. That's more than he's had any other month this year. I guess April he had 9 walks as well, but he's just getting it done. Actually, I take that back. That was in June, but he's actually getting on base. So he only has 2 walks, but overall he's getting it done. He's got the clutch situation a hit today. He's gotten a lot of clutch hits in this whole Diamondback series. I think it was a homecoming. He said it was good to come home. It was good to see a lot of the guys that he played for a long time, but he also believes in this team. He says that this team just has this thing about it, and it doesn't matter who's out. We know that we're going to get better because these guys eventually are going to come back off the IL.
So, Eric, to reemphasize or to even make your point even stronger, 18 strikeouts right now in the month of July, 30 in June, 27 in May, 31 in April, 18, and it's already July 23rd. I think this will be his best month strikeout wise. Plus, you look at his average from this month. You mentioned 348. Last month was 221. Look at his on-base percentage from 288 in June to 380. His slugging in June from 358 to 515. And his OPS, like you mentioned, it jumped from 646 to 895. So he is absolutely trending upward. And he is getting the job done when he gets on base. And he said, I'm learning to hit all fields. Christian Walker is definitely deserves his flowers. And I know that I've gone hard in on him simply because of the contract he signed and the expectations that were put on him because of what he's done in the past. He's starting to form into that guy. And what if this is the Christian Walker we get for the next, not just the rest of the season, but the next 2 years? That right there will make it all worth it. We still have to also focus on Yainer Diaz is also growing. Yainer Diaz is also getting better. So he's got 4 hits in his last 5 or 6 at bats. He's hitting well, and you love to see that. Look, imagine these guys all getting hot right as Pena comes back, which have we heard? Do we have a timetable yet? I know Pena on the injured list yesterday was listed as doing a throwing, running, and hitting progression. Just like Jacob Melton is doing the same thing. They're both in Florida. So that's a good sign. I know that Christian Javier is supposed to start in Sugarland this week after his start recently. And then you got Spencer Arrighetti. I have to look at the notes from the other day.
Arrighetti, I think, is in. I think he's going against with the Hooks, and
well, he's with the Hooks, but I think his next start is supposed to be there in here. I'll tell you real quick, but go ahead.
All right, so yeah, guys, we're gonna go and take a break in a second, but when we get back, we're gonna go and talk about the unsung hero of the season. There's been a lot of them: Jake Myers, Jeremy Pena, but nobody, I think, is more surprising than what Brandon Walter has done. And we'll go and talk about that. Guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day.
Look, you may not rock with chains like this, or maybe you do. Whether you do or you don't, you need to go to Monarch Money. If you ever wish managing money wish that it felt easier, Monarch Money can make that happen. Whether you're growing your savings, planning a big purchase like the 713 necklace, maybe you're looking for a grill from Johnny Dang, I don't know, but you can become your own personal CFO with Monarch Money. It's more than a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center, and you can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place. So in addition to managing your money, you're also building wealth. What's surprising is that you get to find what subscription you need to take out, what you need to add, what makes it easier, whether you're dealing with finances on your own or with your partner. If you have joint or separate accounts, you can manage all that. And with one financial goal, you can get into serious business of building wealth. So take control of your finances with Monarch Money today. Use the code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB for half off your first year.
Hey guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Whether it's on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to us. Go and make us first listen. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast, go and check us out. So I know the trade deadline is coming up. It's on the 31st, and Dana Brown, his job just got a lot harder with Isaac Paredes. I know the injury is more significant than the team feared. I don't know if that means he's going to be out for the whole season or just a couple or a month or so. But at this point, they need a starter with Lance McCullers. Who knows how long that blisters can keep him out. But even when he's in, he has not been the same pitcher that we saw at times this year. And then you have a bunch of other guys. Like, for example, I don't know if you saw this, but Jason Alexander was recalled and Nick Hernandez was optioned down to Sugarland. So definitely this is the starting rotation is a big need at the trade deadline. But it would have been bigger if it wasn't for Brandon Walter. We'll talk about Brandon Walter in a second, but you want to go and talk about Javier?
Yeah, no, Javier will start at AAA this week, and Arrighetti will have another start in Corpus. So, yeah, I just wanted to make sure I didn't have that flipped. But, yeah, Christian Javier is getting close. I mean, this is exciting. With Lance going on the IL, I mean, what does this mean for Lance? Also, what does this mean for Brandon Walter? And, that's the thing. My question to you, Eric, as we launch into this question about Brandon Walter is this, is he cementing himself as this find that the Astros are going to have him, not just a part of the rotation this year, but for the foreseeable future? Is this a reclamation project, one of Dana Brown's successes that they're going to want to keep around? I think so.
Well, it just depends on how long he can keep this up. Sometimes these journeyman type guys, they could be doing it with smoke and mirrors. Then next season, they can't duplicate the same success. Maybe it's a pitching coach. Maybe it's a situation, or maybe it's just that one season, they just have that touch. And then you have the off season, then they lose that feel for the ball and they just can't duplicate it. So it's all up to what Brandon Walter can do. But in the last couple of games, unfortunately, he got 2 losses before today's game, but he pitched 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 7 strikeouts on the 9th. Then on the 18th, 6 innings, 1 earned run, 7 strikeouts. And then today, 7 innings, 1 earned run, and 5 strikeouts. So This seems like at the moment, until Spencer Arrighetti comes back, that's why I put up the big 3 earlier, he may be your third pitcher. In the playoff series, I don't know if I want Brandon Walter being my number 3, but for the regular season right now, he's the third best guy.
No, he is the third best guy. So let's just, and then Christian Javier, are they going to be able to ramp him up to a starter enough, or are they going to, they could relegate him to the bullpen? Remember, he's had success in the past in the bullpen. So Javier gives you that option. But when we're talking about Brandon Walter, we're talking about Spencer Arrighetti, like you just mentioned. If Spencer Arrighetti comes back and does Spencer Arrighetti things, I don't mind Walter being the number 4 guy. That bumps Lance if he comes back to the number 5 guy. Right. There's nothing wrong with that. And then if Javier comes in, they want him to make a spot start, he could be the guy. And then if you want to give Lance McCullers a couple extra days or whatever, this whole, Lance McCullers, it is a blister. It's not like he tried to get injured, but it's just one thing after another with this guy. And Eric, I just still don't think, where I was saying, I said at the beginning of the year, if he comes back and if he's solid, he could get comeback player of the year. I think Jacob deGrom has that award probably wrapped up. Because
Brett, real quick, I do want to ask you about Lance McCullers. I wasn't here when you had that discussion last night with yourself, but is it the chicken or egg situation?
With our guest. Thank you. Maybe you sound like a crazy man on air.
But yeah, I know what you mean. But with Lance McCullers, was it Lance McCullers? Was it his struggles, or was it the blisters that led to his struggles? Like, is it chicken or the egg? And so when he gets
healed from the have a blister before, are we now using? Are we retro?
He's saying that Joe Espada said that he's been dealing with it for a couple of starts.
Okay, so why is he starting? Is he starting
something that he could deal with? It wasn't that bad. I think he said that it flared up against the Mariners.
But that's an old, tired narrative with this team and with these players, Eric.
Yeah.
Like, okay, dude, if you can't go, you can't go. Like, why? Like,
the Astros don't have any starters. They were down.
It's lately. Come on. Right. Bring up.
Jason Alexander is starting tomorrow. That shows where the Astros are.
I know. I don't know. Rob goes phantom injury. Hey, you never know. He's been dealing with it a couple days. We don't know. Are they going to take pictures of his fingers and send it into the blister doctor for MLB? I'm just saying, I want Lance to succeed. And I want that to be on record. I am not anti-Lance McCullers. But if he's going out there and saying he's ready when he's not, that's just the same dog and pony show that we see in the past. These players have got to – look, I understand. Hey, you know what, coach? It hurts, but I'm probably going to last. Is that why he lasted 3 innings? Matt's sitting there going, yada, yada, yada. Exactly. So I want to focus on Brandon Walter. I want to focus on Christian Walker. I want to focus on Yainer Diaz. I want to focus on the fact that everybody said the Astros run is over. The reign in the West is done. I've got Mariners fans dumping on me on TikTok going, well, we're going to get real hot and we're going to take back the West. And I'm like, y'all got to take on first place teams like we do and beat them. That's also what you have to do. Our strength of schedule, second easiest in the second half. Eric, I simply think someone said maybe the Astros medical team couldn't see the blister on the MRI.
I know it's a joke, but yeah.
That's funny. I don't care. That's good comedy.
Yeah.
Michael.
All right, so it's a limited sample size, but as Jason Alexander is going to make it the start tomorrow, keep in mind that in 9 innings with the Astros this year, he has a 2.0 ERA. He had that great game against, who was it? Was it the Dodgers? No, it was the Athletics. He pitched 6 innings. He gave up only 2 runs, had 4 strikeouts. And then he also pitched, I think it was in relief against the Dodgers. And he pitched 3 innings and got the save in that game. And I think he also pitched another time with the Astros. But overall, with the Astros, he has been a decent pitcher. But like I said, Dana Brown has a lot to make a decision about. And I talked about it in the podcast I did solo about the second baseman. Can Dana Brown really go out there and get a pitcher, a starting pitcher, and a impact hitter? I don't know if he has the prospect capital to do both.
I don't know if he has it, but is he in a okay? So does this winning, having 60 wins, only one other team in the AL at that point, does this keep them from making those moves, saying we've got this, we're going to stand pat? Or do they just look at the injuries and say, you know what, guys, we're going to have to do this and we'll just kind of sting a little bit, but we need to go get somebody?
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, Brett, let me ask you this. Are you confident in Christian Javier coming back and giving you 6 innings in the playoffs? Are you confident in Luis Garcia?
I'm
asking you, Brett Chancey.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen him pitch. I haven't seen him pitch in the big leagues. I don't know. I can't answer that question. What I'm saying is they have to figure out, and that's what I'm asking them. They have to figure out, are they going to stand pat and roll with the guys they have, or do they feel like Yordan? We haven't heard, but I'm assuming he doesn't come back. I'm back on that train. I don't want my heart broken another time this year. I can't take it. So Yordan, I'm sorry. I've got you starting in 2026. If you come back in 2025, I'll be super excited and surprised. That's how I'm working this Yordan thing. If Yordan is out, if Paredes there, like we don't know when he's going to come back, those are 2 big bats that you won't have. You've got to absolutely replace those bats. You're going to have to give up somebody. You're going to have to give up Uola. You're going to have to give up you're going to have to give up somebody to get somebody. But the thing is, has Kyle Stowers cooled off? Has Ron O'Hearn cooled off? They both have. What would they do when they get here? You don't know. So it's a crapshoot. And I think the Astros do a darn good job evaluating talent and getting the right guys in. So I trust what they're going to do, whatever it is.
Well, it only gets better from here because the Astros are playing the A's. I know the A's always play the Astros tough, but it's good to play a team that's below 500, 42-61, and the Astros are going to be facing Luis Severino. Jason Alexander will be on the mound. Severino is 3-11 with a 5.10 ERA.
He pitches better on the road, doesn't he, though?
I can look real quick.
I think his best starts are on the road because he's terrible in Sacramento, from what I understand.
So all right, that's
how I would call it.
Real quick. So where's this? At home. I don't like looking at this app. Here it is. Yeah, at home he's 0-9 with a 6.68 ERA. So he's better on the road. So he's 3-2 with a 3.10 ERA. So yes, he pitches better away from that minor league ballpark that they play at. So guys, this will be a interesting series. I didn't expect the Astros to sweep the Diamondbacks because they had that offense, but they did it. So you need to go and take care of business, at least win 2 games against the Athletics, and go ahead and keep on asserting yourself. And if the Brewers can go on this run that they're doing, that they have the best record in baseball, why can't the Astros? Let's just go ahead and just go on this crazy run, win like 10 out of 12 games, and just go and soar up there and put some distance and get that first or second seed. So, guys, that's all we got for this edition of the Locked On Astros podcast. We'll go ahead and come back tomorrow and talk about the Astros victory. Hopefully, I guess I already said they're going to win tomorrow's game. But, guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day, whether it's on YouTube. Go ahead, subscribe to us. Go and make us first listen. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts, go and check us out.
Go Astros. Way to BTA the Diamondbacks. Good job.
Sweep. Best team in American League.